Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Williamson County Coaches Preview Show. I'm Jack Daniels, your host, and for tonight's game, we have the head coach at Franklin High School, Coach Donnie Webb, and the head coach at Brentwood, Coach Mike Woodward. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks, Jack.
Coach Webb, we're going to start with you since this is your first time this year on the show, and if you would kind of bring us up to date on how your season's gone up to this point.
Well, we're 5-0. Last week, won at Lincoln County was a good win. The best win I felt was the first game of the year. Obviously, everybody wants to win the first one.
Sure.
But we went to Northeast, and they were really, really athletic. Felt like we really got after them. We kind of let them get back in the game in the fourth quarter, but for the most part, played really well.
Okay, and then after the Northeast game?
Then we had our first district game was Dickson County, because we did not play week 0. We went 1 through 5, and then we had Mount McGavock, Shelbyville, then Lincoln County.
Okay.
And so we're only had one district game up until tonight.
Mm-hmm. Now your Dickson County game, that was a Thursday night game up in Dickson County, was it not?
It was. It was fun.
Fun, 16-14 game
yeah,
fun?
It's a W.
Yeah.
But,
I used to get more gray hair when I had those 16-14 games.
Doing fine until we decided we didn't, right there at the end, want to tackle that big boy that had a running back. He's a good player, and we let him loose there. And got it a little scary there at the end for sure.
Okay, all right. Well, Coach, where the last time we had you in, you were going through a little 3-game losing streak, and you're going to have an undefeated Hendersonville come to visit you guys. So it kind of catches up to date there from there.
Well, yeah, we won that game against Hendersonville. 35-31, came right down. We were fortunate enough, we scored a touchdown with a minute and a half to go to take the lead and held on, and that was our homecoming game, So, yeah, that was huge for our kids to, kind of get the monkey off the back, enjoy homecoming, and, against a team like Hendersonville, that was a great win for us. And then Dickson County came in the next week, and we got that game, and which pulled us to 1-1 in district. And then just this last Friday, went over to Oakland, and they got the better of us there. They're very good over there. So.
Right, good football team. I kind of looked at the won-loss records of your non-district opponents. I think out of the 4 teams that you played, that only 2 losses out of the whole 4. So your non-district schedule has not been one that I don't think too many coaches want to be playing. So.
No, it's been a tough schedule, but we knew that, and our guys work hard, and we've competed in all those games, and we're hoping it's going to pay dividends for us, down the road. One thing I do know is with this playoff format, we're stockpiling a lot of wins by opponents, which helps us out. So as long as we take care of start winning a few more ball games, we'll be in a good position with all those tiebreaker scenarios.
Sure. Well, Coach Webb, let's go back to you and kind of tell us who your assistant coaches are and what they do at your school and what they coach for your football team, and we'll just kind of get caught up with your staff.
On the offense side, we got Coach Dan Winfrey. Been in the county for a while. He was at Brentwood. He's guidance counselor in the school. He's coaching our offense. He's coaching our quarterbacks, calling the offense plays.
Okay.
Coach Andrew Tomlinson teaches CAD in the school, and he coaches our wide receivers. Coach Tony Keaton coaches our tight ends. He's a math teacher. And Coach Ben Kuhn, he's new to us from this first year with us here at Franklin. He's coaching our offensive line. He's in social studies. And then Darian Waters, a former player at Franklin, he's a parapro, coaches our running backs. Defensively with me, Coach Travis Shepard, he's in the history department, coaches our linebackers. And Coach Marshall Winkler and Coach Kevin Weeks coach our DBs. Coach Winkler gets corners, Weeks gets safeties, and Coach Ken Carter has been at Franklin a long time. Coaches our defensive line and special teams, and they let me coach every once in a while on defense.
Well, I had an opportunity to meet Darian for the first time Friday night on the sidelines. He seems like an awful nice young man.
Super young man. I mean. And then, being a graduate of Franklin, and it's just great to have around those kids.
Right. As far as outside that staff, like any managers or your trainers or somebody like that who helps behind the scene type stuff?
Well, there's and especially in Franklin and Williamson County, there's tons of people that are doing it. The Bone and Joint, gives us our trainer and it's Alexis board, and from there, it's hard to find managers and trainers like it was years ago when I first started coaching. So all of us coaches are kind of running around grabbing water and getting this and getting that for the young men, but it goes fine and everything's all right.
Yeah. Well, Coach Woodward, let's talk a little bit last Friday's night game. I know you played Oakland. Can you kind of break that game down for us a little bit about quarter by quarter and
Well, they jumped out on us pretty quick, and I think you can't prepare during the week for the size and the speed you're going to see when you play them. As far as scheme-wise goes, we didn't have any problems with alignments or things of that nature, but just, their size took us a while to get accustomed to. But I felt like after the first couple drives, offensively and defensively for us, I was real proud of our guys. We stood, we stood toe-to-toe as best we could and kept fighting all the way to the end. We turned the ball over a couple times, which, we knew we couldn't do. And that hurt us. And then we tried a fake punt, which we weren't able to convert, which gave them a short field. So, but overall, I thought we played well. We didn't play great, but we played well, and could still see a lot of progress, especially with our younger guys as we go through the season.
I hadn't seen Oakland this year. Are they more of too tied in to smash it down, run it down your throat type of
yes,
football
they
team?
are. They will. They will come right downhill at you. There's no surprises. But now they also have some very athletic receivers, and they'll go ahead and throw a quick hitch out there or a slant or a bubble and get those guys out in space, because they're going to have one-on-one matchups because you've got to put so many guys in the box to try to stop that run game. So they will throw it a little bit also.
Yeah. I was noticing also somebody was doing a poll who the top 16 teams in the state, don't make any difference classification. Some of the things had like Siegel at the top of the page, and I'm thinking, didn't Oakland beat Siegel like 41-9 the very first game of the year? And I'm thinking, goodness gracious, they got the Siegel at the top. But I know Rutherford County's got a lot of good football teams in their county, in their system. Coach Webb was talking about last Friday night, more specifically, how'd the game start for you guys and how'd it go?
I felt like we did some really good things offensively. We were concerned about, it's a different type, but Lincoln County will run the football. And on the defensive side, we were concerned they were just going to run over us, And they do have some big offensive linemen. They don't have the backs and the type of people that Oakland has, but what they do well. And then we felt like we took that away and then let them work the zone on us a little bit too much. But offensively, what we did was we finished drives, and one of the best ones was we got up, kind of sputtered around a little bit, but they could not move the ball. And we have a really good weapon. I know once we get into Williamson County that everyone's got good kickers, but our punter is pretty special, man. Corey Fatoni, and he gets really, really good height on the football and then distance as well. And so anytime we don't move the ball, we're fine. Punt it down there because it's going to become an 80-yard gain for the team taking over who we're playing. And that's kind of what we did with Lincoln. And then we did get it to 20-0, and they drove on us. We had we just lost our focus, all the way from me all the way down, I kind of thought. But our offense answered immediately and took the ball and drove it straight down the field and scored, and then it kind of was, the game was basically over.
Right. And the final score was?
27-6.
27-6, okay.
Yes.
Good win down in Lincoln County at the pit. That's always
a fun place. It's a great place to play.
And people that's never been down there, they need to at least go down there one time and get involved in that type of environment and that atmosphere. I think it's good for the kids to be in that type of surroundings too.
It is, and they've got a lot better football team than what they've had in the past few years, and you can tell the atmosphere was exciting, that's coming back around there, so they're going to be good.
Yeah, they definitely are. Well, Coach Woodward, let's talk about a scouting report on Franklin. Just kind of tell me what I'm going to see Friday night.
Well, you're going to see a very good football team. They're 5-0 for a reason, and you look at their offense. They've got great balance. They can run the football. They've got a good tailback, and they've also got a special kid at quarterback who's got a good arm and is very accurate. So it really presents a dilemma to us. We've seen a lot of one-dimensional teams the last few weeks, with the exception of Oakland. So this week we've got to be prepared best we can to take care of a running attack and a passing attack. Mm-hmm. So but they do a great job there of keeping you off balance. They use a lot of personnel groups, a lot of different formations. So it's a lot of work defensively to try to account for all the different things they can do. And defensively, they're just so sound at what they do. You don't see anybody pop off big plays against them. They've got good personnel, but the scheme is so sound. They're never double gapped. Everybody's got their responsibility in run game. Everybody's got their responsibility as far as their coverages go. And, to score, you've just got to try to work the ball down the field and put together 12, 14-play drives. And like you said, with their punter, you're always looking at a long field, so that puts a lot of pressure on your offense. So, I mean, it's, they're just, they're great defensively, too.
Mm-hmm. Coach Webb, what are we going to see from Brentwood tonight?
First of all, they're playing our schedule. They're 5-0. Also, I mean, it's and I'm proud of our kids, and I think we have a good football team. Mm-hmm. But we're sitting there going the non-conference that Brentwood has. I don't know what it'd be. It'd be a little bit different. I know that for a fact. Mm-hmm. And so that number one. Up front, they're always got the big guys, but they're not. They're a whole lot different from what the past couple of years of just not just mashing you. It's a grind it out type thing. They've got, I think, in the past few years, they got better skill kids than what Brentwood's had in the past few years. I've seen them since I've been back. The quarterback is, he can run and throw. We like to pressure people defensively and bring in, and our dilemma is, do we pressure him, because I think he makes plays when he gets out of the pocket, and especially I'm the Wells at the tailback, and then I won't say their names right, so I'm gonna say 5 and 83.
Yeah, that's what I always did too. I never even thought about names. I just go numbers, man. Number 9 out there. That's who you're gonna get.
Exactly, and because they got guys on the outside, and this goes all the way back. I always thought this when Coach Woodward was at Ravenwood coaching offense, and I was at Franklin coaching defense.
That's right. You guys have been
one
against each other.
One of the things that I always thought they did good was when Jennings got out of the pocket, was those receivers found him, and and we're trying to pressure people, and so we're trying to get them to understand we got to keep him in there. He's got to go down,
sure,
or you got to keep him in there, because they do a good job of coming back to the ball. Mm-hmm. Defensively, to be honest with you, it's I think they're pretty good, and it's very difficult to tell, because we're looking at their last 2 games they sent us, and we're not either one of those teams. To the point of, we're not going to try to physically knock you down. We are going to try to zone and move the ball through the air some. And so it's, we're not exactly, we know what we're going to see scheme-wise, but what little changes they'll make compared to, like, Mike was saying, we got to get 10, 11, 12 if we can in the box against Oakland, because what's coming, and so that's the first thing we always have to look at, to see what, and that's Coach Winfrey and those offensive guys. That's what they can do.
Sure, right. Well, who has to really play well for you tonight in order for you to have an opportunity to win tonight's football game?
I think our inside linebackers do, to not let number one get free. I feel like our outside guys, we got to contain. They do a good job with, it's either going to be the outside speed, or it's going to be the power underneath with the quarterback. And so we've got to play well inside there, maintain the line of scrimmage. And then offensively, we've got to be able to continue to find ways to run the football. We can't just live with throwing it around every down. And we've got to have times that we've got to, and that's what we continue to work on and try to get better at.
What kind of breakdown has that been kind of for you?
We're almost fit. When games we've been fortunate, a couple of games got away where we're really trying to run. I don't know exactly, because they were looking at it, but I'd say we're about 60-40 run right now.
Is that kind of what you guys are playing for?
Not me.
Not you. So I know how defensive coaches are. You probably want to go more 90-10.
Yes, sir. No, it's no really, and that's what people joke all the time when they said we're going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust, because defensive guys. But really, throwing the football, it's there. You want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's just we do have a quarterback that we hope can make the right reads
Right,
and throw it out there. We just we've got big receivers. They're not burners, but they've done a good job of getting open and in space and giving Joe a chance to throw the football to him.
Do you have very many seniors, Coach?
Yes, we have 25. One's injured, so I think 24 there right now.
And how many of those kids start for you?
The defensively is there's 8 on defense, and on offense, we were just talking the other day. I think it's 6. I'd have to go back and look.
Okay, so a lot of those 8 on defense were starters for you last year.
Yeah, some of them we moved from different positions. Tyler Beasley, for example, we moved him from defensive end to Mike linebacker, and he's really played well. You can still see sometimes he's a lineman out there playing, but he really has played well.
Right. Coach Woodward, who has to play great for the Bruins tonight in order to have a chance to win?
We'll need a lot of guys to play great, but really for us on offense, it's going to be our front 5. Because, we don't want one to have to run around all night long. He's a threat running the ball, but, we'd like him to have time in the pocket to be able to scan and get the ball out that way. And that's going to require protection, which, is going to be tough against, the defense Donnie runs. So, our front 5 are going to have to do a good job there and also allow us to run the ball well enough that we have some balance. We're probably more of a 50-50 team in terms of run-pass, and there have been some games where it's been more of a 60-40 pass-run, but we've got to have the balance and be able to run the football. So that's going to come down to our 5 up front, and then defensively, I think again, not to sound cliche, but it's going to be our front there also because we need to get pressure on their quarterback. We can't afford to let him stand back there in the pocket and have time to scan. And because he is a very accurate passer, they do have good receivers out there. We've got to get, some pressure in his face and make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Well, I saw in the paper that against Oakland you had a young man return a kickoff 99 yards.
Yeah, Austin Wells, and it's his second kick return for a touchdown. Actually, he had a 95-yarder against Hendersonville and missed the school record by a yard. And we kept going back to the film trying to figure out a way to get that extra yard for him. So. Now it's safe to say that he has the school record, and he will always at least have a piece of the school record.
Yeah, always have a piece of it. Well, what shocked me most is that it was against Oakland, and I know what type of athletes Oakland usually has. So that young man must be pretty fast.
He's he is. He's got good straight line speed. He's also got good quickness because he's a smaller guy, but he can make quick breaks, quick cuts, and he can get back up to top speed in and out of the cuts, and that's what helps him so much on our kick return. I mean, he's gotten great blocking on both of the returns, but also there's been a point in each one of those where he had to make a cut and then get back up to top speed, and that's a special gift he has that you can't coach. It's just a quick burst that I don't know what it's like to have that, but it's got to be great to have that quick get up and go.
Now, is he a receiver or running back for you?
He's primarily a running back, but we can put him out. We can put him out in the slot. He actually knows. He actually knows all 4 of our receiver positions and our running back position.
Okay.
So during the summer, especially with 7-on-7s, we moved him around quite a bit. But as far as what you see on a regular Friday night, he's predominantly going to be in the backfield.
Now, have you made any changes on the defensive side of the ball since the season started?
Yeah, we were predominantly a read 3-4 team at the start of the year,
right.
And we weren't having success with that, so we just became more of an attack front 7. We haven't changed a whole lot in terms of alignments and things of that nature, but we've done a few different things with our down linemen, but basically we've kind of turned the guys loose and just let them play and be attack first as opposed to just try to get your hands on and then react, because we don't have those big guys that can just manhandle people. We're more of a quickness-driven defense. We've kind of turned them loose a little bit more.
Well, we're in that stretch, guys, where it's about district games, I think, the rest of the way out for everybody. Is that not right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is
Is it?
now.
Yeah.
It is for us.
Yeah, I know Centennial's at 2-0, and you're
1-0.
1-0, only one district game, and you're 0-1.
We're 1-1.
1-1 in the district. So every game's going to be important moving through. Who's got the upper hand, Coach Webb? You're 5-0. You're 1-0.
No, I'm sure Mike's been getting it too, but it's just reporter after reporter wants to talk about Franklin Brentwood, and I didn't realize that he said it was 17-17. I don't know if that is up to date or not, but he was pretty sure. Someone told me, and so I think it'll be a special game and should be one just like many of them you were part of as well. They're fun ones, and they're fun to be involved with them.
Oh, most definitely. That was definitely one of the first experiences I had when I got to Brentwood way back in '97. Everybody kept talking about the Franklin game, and it the Ravenwood Franklin game when you were there, Mike.
Right.
I know it was a good special game, but there's a little bit something extra in the Brentwood Franklin game. And tonight you're going to get to see a little bit of that with the crowd and everybody that's going to be there. Well, let's get off of tonight's game a little bit and talk about some things on the outside looking in. Are you happy with the way we're doing playoffs, Coach Webb? You like that format?
No, I wish it was back the way it was before. I think it is a pain in the foot trying to schedule, and everybody's running around looking, okay, what's best? Obviously, what's best for us? Me. I'm using me as the team individually, and we've lost the inner district, of good rival games. That, some of them kept them, but no, I wish it was you play in your district. Obviously, at least they did get it back to the top two automatically go. So you still got to do win in your district, but theoretically, where we are right now, we could lose some district games and be ahead of someone that won more district games but didn't get to that two.
Sure.
Didn't get to that two spot.
Because of their non-district
Because
schedule.
of their non-district schedule, and there's something wrong right there.
When you say go back to the way it was, are you thinking going back to 5 classifications and go back into regions, and then you would match up like we did 1 through 4 with regions?
I liked it like that. Now, then I wish they would take from there, because I got tired. We all got tired of I think every year one of the Williamson County schools right during that time was going to the championship.
Started meeting each other too quick.
Exactly. It was boom, boom, boom. You just turned right around. I wish, and I know it's travel and money, and that's where the people above us, get involved with it. But it's kind of fun to go somewhere new.
Yeah, I think that's what part of the playoffs is involved with. I always thought they need to move the second round and flip, at that point. First round, you're good lining up with a region 5 and 6, but then on the second round games, boom, you're going to be hitting 7 and 8 top people instead of the 5 and 6. And that way, if you wouldn't meet your number 2 seed out of your own region until the semifinals. And, you're going to meet them somewhere, but we were meeting them at one point there. Williamson County, we were meeting the second round, meeting in the daggum quarterfinals.
There were several years that it was 4, but it was many that it was 3. The 3 of the 4 won, and then so you went bam, bam, bam.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you think about that, Coach Woodward?
Yeah, I'd like to go back to the old way too. I just think something's wrong with the system where you think back to last year where the TSSAA is coming out on a Saturday after they've released their pairings and then say, oh, there's a mistake here, and one team that thought they were in was told they weren't, and a team that thought they were out was told they were in. And I just think it's more clear cut if you go back to the 5 classes, go with the regions. You know your top 4 you're in, and it gives you an idea of who you're going to match up with. So, as a coach, it may be exciting for everybody else to listen to that radio show, but as a coach, it's a little bit better to know at Friday night when the scores come in, okay, that's who we're going to prepare for, and that's who we're going to go play. So I'm with you. After that first round, I think it'd be great to for lack of a better term, bounce around and go play somebody else, and then come back and see a district foe, later on, as opposed to second and possibly again in the third round.
Right. Yeah, they could even do it in the third round, and so the quarterfinals would flip to 7 and 8, and then you'd come back and have an opportunity. Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the other football teams you have, your freshmen and your JV team. How have they been doing this year?
We right now as a program we're 11-1. The JV, we lost a JV game to NBA, and the rest of them we've won. The freshmen, we had someone cancel on us last week, so we're 4-0. Freshman 4-0, and the JV at 2-1.
Okay.
To this point.
Do you like the Monday night format?
I do. I'm still getting used to it. It's a long Monday, that's for sure.
Yeah, it kind of frees you up on Thursday
it
a little bit
does.
more on your coaches.
I tell you where I'm trying to get used to it. I don't know how with Mike, with practice. Trying to, I know those JV kids get to stay a little longer than they would have in the past because their game's a little bit later. But, at the same time, you're also wanting to have them have a game experience, and you don't want to just keep them out there for practice the whole time.
Right. Right. Coach, bring us up on your freshman JV team.
Yeah, both of them I think are 2 and 3. Just lost tough games to Oakland this last Monday, but again we're seeing progress, and our freshman group, we've got a good group of freshmen that we're excited about, as they come up, and our JV team, we have 6 sophomores that are playing quite a bit at varsity, so they're not there now on the Monday nights playing JV, but the guys we have out there, again, they're doing a good job. They're competing, and it looks good for the future. Once we get them in the weight room and get them bigger and stronger,
Mm-hmm.
We got some guys there that are going to be able to help us out next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, the ball's in the middle of the field, 1st and 10. What play would you rather see, a stand back and read or a blitz go get them?
Middle of the field?
Yeah. Since you're a defensive guy,
Yeah.
I'm giving you a defensive scenario.
We'll probably still just play base right there. Might bring one linebacker.
Okay. Depends on what the opponent you think the opponent's going to be.
Depends on what got to the 50.
Yeah. If you're playing Page, I'll guarantee you they're going to throw the football because I think they're averaging 40 or 50 passes a game or something like that. But you're probably more 50-50 on yours, aren't you, Mike?
Yeah, we'll probably, in that situation, probably lean more towards putting the ball up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to get some balance. So.
Right. Well, gentlemen, thank you. Good luck at tonight's game, and hope everybody stays injury-free the rest of the season. Join us tonight at Franklin High School, 7 o'clock. Brentwood visits Franklin. Thank you. I'm Jack Daniels, your host.